What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
We have a guest on the Edge of the Web radio line, and we're very fortunate to have her over the break into the second segment, and this is Katy Keim from Lithium. Lithium's a Fortune 500 social media engagement software platform that integrates into websites to bring that brand advocacy and moreover than anything else, the social connection, the social commerce that is fastly approaching reality all over the place is be able to connect to customers and build the brand and build the focus on everything that you're potentially selling there. Thank you so much for joining us again, Katy.
No problem. Glad to.
And for folks that, when you're thinking about that, I think a lot of small businesses or medium-sized businesses are wondering whether this is a game that they should get into or not. The advantage is really that you foster this community, and maybe you start with an audience and people are listening to you, but you figure out that there's people out there that are authorities on the topics that you're talking about.
That's right.
And much like Katy is part of this show, is that we obviously want to improve the value of the relationship between Site Strategics and its potential customers.
Absolutely.
So we want to bring experts on board, like Katy, to help foster the relationship and enhance that value. That's in a sense of what Lithium is doing. Is you're providing that medium to really for companies to take and collectively bring those people on board that help sell their brand. And in the end run, you wind up the return on investment is much greater when you have diehard customers selling your goods for you.
And you have the tool to be able to communicate to them as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think even for small and medium businesses, and rather than just a campaign happening and then going away, I mean, this over time builds an asset. And you're exactly right that your customers, they nearly know more about your products and services than you do. And I love some of the stories we often get back from the brands. There was a situation, we powered Caterpillar, and there was a situation in Haiti where a person joined the community and said, "We're in Haiti, we're losing our generators," and was asking if they could mix diesel fuel with gasoline to help it extend, et cetera. And someone around the community absolutely don't do that. Here's what you should do instead, et cetera. And we have these anecdotes, whether it's something kind of life-threatening like that, or whether it's just something as simple as, can you tell me how to build my deck on Home Depot? Should I use this wood or this wood? What our communities do is just tap into that passion and that knowledge. We call it expert content. And as you get your customers to talk about this, it doesn't disappear like it does on Facebook. It actually sits on your site, in your repository, and it's part of kind of this living, breathing asset that's part of your marketing image. So we think it has real lasting value.
That's invaluable, and just to be able to reach, I mean, this is all new terrain that companies are realizing that there's so much interaction and exchange of ideas in the social community, and to be able to not only tap into that, but provide support beyond the technical support or the customer support infrastructure of the last decade, and be able to extend that reach, and customers know that there's a personality behind these companies that is caring, that gets championed a mile wide, and that value can't be understood yet by so many different industries, but it's there, and they're constantly exchanging and discussing, right?
Well, yeah, and what's interesting is I think the place that we've seen the value, people are understanding the value very clearly, and one of the places they've seen it is customer service. It's become very, very unclear where customer service ends and marketing begins in some product offerings. And so if you were to take a company like HP, and we do something like 30-plus communities for them globally based on printing business, their computers, et cetera, they believe they saved about $50 million last year in terms of taking calls in the call center. Similarly, we worked with Barclaycard on a new credit card, and they quantified that benefit at $10 million. So marketing has always had challenges around measuring effectiveness. But in a world where people are servicing customers and retaining them and then turning them into advocates, the measurement of it has been relatively crystal clear for our customers.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the bottom line of those companies is much stronger than ones that are trying to, hack their way through it without all that assistance. It's funny you say that. We were just visiting with a customer today. We have a client, HCC MIS. They do travel insurance, and they literally brought their customer service manager over from, he was handling social media for customer service, and they blended that in with marketing. So now he answers to the CMO. He still takes care of customer service as part of the, he doesn't handle the calls himself, but they divert those to the right teams and everything. But they saw the value. They saw the absolute value that, wow, we're handling all of this communication through social media. Let's just roll that right into our marketing. So, perfect.
We see that all the time. I mean, we had some customers tell us that, I thought this was great, which is marketing has what we want, which is the budget, and the service has what marketing wants, which is engagement. I mean, they're trying to get people to talk to them, and the services people have people talking to them all the time. So, we're really focused on how, it's not two different communities. It's your customers wanting to get a question answered, give you an idea, share their knowledge, help another customer. It's the same set of customers. It's just a different set of activities. And figuring out where to tap into that for your business is kind of the art that Lithium helps people with.
Well, ultimately, the customer doesn't care what department it belongs in.
They just want to be talked to.
If I'm writing,
Absolutely.
if I'm writing about a problem on Twitter, I don't care about your internal hierarchy and who's responsible for what. And
this is operator 6. How can I help you?
Yeah, exactly. I just want my problem handled, and I'm doing it publicly. So if you fail, everybody's going to see it fail, and so that's going to impact marketing as well.
Well, and that's a big challenge that we think brands have with Facebook, right? I mean, not only do fans not return to the brand Facebook page, we've seen it as low as 2%, but it's that a brand can't even really tell with that profile who that person is. Is it a customer? Is it a prospect, et cetera? And our most savvy customers, again, once it's on domain and on domain community on their website, they tie it into CRM systems, or they tie it into profile information. So going back to the Sephora example, they tie it into their loyalty card. So every time I post on the community, they know what I'm buying, too. So it's able to inform a much more intelligent strategy than what you can do on unowned networks.
And then, Katy, to your point, being able to capture all of that information, knowledge, if you will, and put it into a central repository that can not only be used by the customer community, but also by all of the internal groups, marketing, sales, et cetera, is remarkable.
Oh, we're getting ready to launch our new social intelligence related to our platform. It's the next generation, and it's just amazing to be able to see the drill down that our customers can start seeing of, like, what is the most active topics? What are the trending topics? They can start generating content campaigns based on what's getting the most lift.
That's
the most
wonderful.
Conversation, and it should be reinforcing. And when we spend all this time talking about big data, I'm not sure people need more data. They just need better data.
And
data.
The ability and that social intelligence where you can do a predictive analysis of what you're needing to bring to the forefront of consumer consumption, that's just invaluable, because all of a sudden that generates a whole nother spectrum of lead nurturing where it's not a passive amount of content that customers are interacting with. You're actually bringing more and more to them almost in a dynamic way, correct?
That's right. And we look at it at a couple levels. One, we can look at in terms of who's most active. So we call them super fans. I think earlier you said passionate fans. We call them super fans. I mean, these are the 1% to 2% that spend a just disproportionate amount of time. And when I say that, I mean, we've got people that have generated 47,000 posts, a single person, on Logitech video cameras. I mean, this is someone that knows video cameras so deeply. And we can also monitor how active that segment of the population is versus the viewers. We can see what they're answering. I mean, those are the type of questions we're helping our customers take a look at, just to see if it can inform how they do things differently.
And Katy, speaking of customers, as I recall, I think you have an upcoming event.
We do. We have it. We call it the Lithium Networking Conference, or LINC, and we host it every year. We're expecting nearly 800 this year in San Francisco. And one of the best parts of my job for our customer conference is, I get together with American Idol and Sony and Skype and Virgin and Sephora and BT and Best Buy. I mean, the new MySpace is launching. We do Spotify. Google is a customer, and we bring all the social strategists together from those accounts.
Everybody pay attention to that. Google's a customer.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
like
we do the AdWords community for them. They've been
fantastic.
so innovative. They have so many questions coming in on how do I optimize my search spend.
Right.
And so our community, or Lithium, if you were to go to that community, you'd see our name at the bottom of it. So we power that. But in any case, it's one of the best events in the industry to kind of really get a sense of what's happening in terms of gauging the social customers.
That's
so
fantastic.
We're very excited.
Fantastic. So pay attention to that. Katie, can you give us some place of how to get a hold of you? Just give us a rundown of some information there.
Sure. So there's a few things. Of course, we like to start with our website. We are digital, so lithium.com. And I think if I were listening, I would go first to the Stories tab, where we just list 50 customers and the return they're getting. I also want you to take a look at lithium.com. It's /GetSerious. We're out in the market right now kind of pounding the drums that it's time to get serious about social. And the real focus here is that there's a lot of noise. So how can we think about moving this to a more strategic place in the business that drives business value? And we have a number of resources there specifically about we have an assessment. We've got some video there that's kind of fun, making fun of Facebook likes, and a number of white paper resources that I think would be a great place.
Oh yeah, there's some great case studies, and the site is really neat. It's very interactive. Check out lithium.com. We have a Twitter handle that we can follow you on.
We do. It's Lithium Tech. So at Lithium Tech, LITHIUM Tech, and then I am KATYKEIM at Katy Keim, and I love to meet everyone on Twitter. So
excellent.
Love to be followed.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I truly appreciate it, Katie.